Thank God. Right, okay, here we go. There's the claps for the audio.
I didn't hear a single clap, by the way.
Me neither.
I think Zoom perfectly cancelled out what isn't your voice, which is really funny.
Right. Welcome, everyone. This is the SNFL Divisional Draw Decider call with your SNFL Elder Wizards. Sorry. On my screen, I've got Matt in this direction. I've got Scott in this direction. I've no idea what it looks like for everybody else, but thank you both for joining me. I'm very excited. It's time to announce who's going where. We have 4 divisions this year, and there's going to be 8 people in each. So that's how we're going to do it this year. It's just a nice, perfectly even number, which will make sense once we get into the season and do lots of fun things. So here's how it's going to go. If I share my screen with you now, I have written a stat sheet of every win and loss in the history of everyone that's ever played SFL. Did this last night. Took a really long time. So what I did is I took all of these numbers and combined them to get a sort of average rating and found out winning percentage for everyone, which I can't show you yet because it's on a different screen. But here's what this means, basically. First of all, one of the divisions this year, I said to you last year that we're never going to do the Elite Super League ever again. But what we can do is something that we did last year, which I thought was quite fun, which was make a division of all the people that should have won by now, but haven't. So that is going to be one of our divisions this year. It's going to be called the Veterans League or Veterans Division. Probably won't call it league. Bit too close to the old thing. So if you can see this is your Veterans League for this year. It's all the people that have at least 1,000 wins in the history of NFL predictions, which is Dan, Scott, Josh, Ennis, James, and Callum. No, I think Callum is just outside, or maybe Callum and James are just outside. They're on like 970. Matt is on like 960, something like that, somewhere around then. And just for shits and giggles, to have a bit of a wild card, Koizel should have been in this section, but about an hour before the first game, he decided he didn't want to play this year. So Dom's going in there. Didn't plan that in advance, but let's see how that works out. So Matt, you're on this call. We'll fly through this really quickly, but what do you think about the Veterans division that you're going to be in?
I think that I think that's the right positions. I think that's going to be the end results. I think you've called it.
These are sorted by year, by the way, year that the person first joined.
I maintain my prediction.
As well as that, there's the Clyde division because it's just a bunch of people that work here. So you've got Hasty, the veteran of the Clyde group. Katrina, Mark, who doesn't actually work for Clyde anymore, but it's a good division for him to be in. Roger, David, John Mack, Michael, and Gabs, all in that one. Hasty, you're in this. You are vastly more experienced. The closest person in here has still been playing for 6 years less than you. Is this the division for you? You're sort of the wild card in this division, which is what makes it interesting.
Yeah, this is the first and only and last time that I'll know more about sport than everyone else listed there.
But that's the thing. We like the bottom 4 people have never played before. We don't know that you know more about sport than them because we've never come up against them before. So I'm excited to see what happens next. That means there's 16 names left, and those 16 names should be on your screen now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 former winners, and Nick, myself, Midas, Will, Andrew, and Jim, and then everybody else chucked in as well. Nels, Ryan, Neil, Stacey, Jordan, George, Sarah, Ben, Robbie, and John. So now that I've told you that information, I can actually switch to this tab. This is the total average win percentage of everyone who's ever played ever based on regardless of season. Nels is actually statistically the best player that's ever been in it with a 0.643 win percentage. On average, he finishes 2.8th in the end of season. Then there's a bunch of winners. Then there's Mark, who is sneaky good and is significantly better than Scott by 0.15. So it'll be interesting to see how Mark and Scott go up against each other. Me and Matt, I've got a little bit on you, but it's not by much. So, and Matt and Hasty as well. You're on the exact same win percentage.
I'm surprised we're so similar.
Yeah.
What to say.
So there you go. And then
it's almost like
down,
we finish each other's.
So Sarah's at the bottom. Sorry about that. Sarah's getting very close to being the first person to overtake losses with wins, but she'd like that record. So yeah, there's your remaining 16 people. What we're going to do now is our Marbulator, Scott McCabe, who can't be with us tonight, is going to put all of these people into one big marble run. We're going to toss them all in there, and the first 8 people that come out of the marble run will be in one division. However, there is an incentive to win here. Decided this earlier on. Not sure how it's going to work yet, but whoever actually wins, once that person has seen the division that they are in and have seen the division that they are not in, they can choose one person, themselves or otherwise, that can be traded for another person in the other division. Just those two, though, the veterans and the Clyde one, they're both locked, and we'll need to come up with snappy names for the remaining 2 divisions when we have the chance. Does that all make sense, Matt and Scott? If it makes sense to you, it'll make sense to everybody else.
I think people like marbles will be fine.
Yeah,
that's really true, actually. Right, so hopefully I should now be able to show you the marbles. It's a very simple game this year. 16 people, first 8 to the end of the course are in the first division. The other 8, or the rest that do not finish the race, will be in the other division, and whoever wins gets to decide where they end up. Over to the Marbulator, Scott McCabe. Scott McCabe. Scott, can you hear us?
Thanks for having me, Chris.
There he is. How you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe it either.
I mean,
yeah, exactly like Tom Brady said.
Yeah, I mean,
in fact, 16 and sorry, what was that, Andrew?
I think his name's actually...
Your name's not Andrew, it's in fact Matthew. Interesting. Well, I see Andrew is here. I don't see a Matthew.
Yeah, there's him.
Sorry, Chris, why is that?
Just watch back in the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Hasty, you are right as well. All right, I believe... Shall I start it, Chris?
Yeah, that'd be really good, actually, if you start.
All right. 3, 2...
Oh, straight in.
Oh, this is a slow start.
But it looks like a Plinko board, so they're just going to hit off all the things. It's really exciting.
Oh, right, yeah, I see where this race is going now. Oh, God,
they're just going to fall down the side.
Everybody doesn't finish. Right, it's hard to tell. So apparently Neil's in the lead. No, Robbie's in the lead so far. Oh, we're going back up somehow. What's happening? Is this...
We're all going backwards.
Okay. Oh, now is the Plinko. Now is the
non-gravity race.
Ish.
Right, okay. Oh, there's Andrew. Andrew out in front. Last year's winner. Closely followed by Jim and George, who have melded marbles at this point. It's a good tactic. They're going to need to get around this rock, though.
Rocks.
Oh, it's hard to... Oh, it's really tough. They're so close. Oh, the rock has been destroyed.
A blockage.
Jim is taking a lead. Oh, and we're getting a better look at the race here. There's a lot of race left to go. Jim in front, George in second.
As a Texans fan, this is a really new space for George almost being in the lead.
George, a historically bad person at predictions. He's currently second bottom on 454 wins and 345 losses. But he's right out in front. It's neck and neck between George, Andrew, and Jim. Andrew and Jim, both former winners. George just, rubbing shoulders with the big boys. Jim's just launched himself.
Look at the zooms. It just goes to prove that marbles doesn't matter. You can have your luck in marbles.
There's a lot of wreckage. What happens if the race stops?
Well,
everyone is caught up. The leads have been obliterated. Oh, wow, there's a lot happening.
Don't get flicked.
Watch out for the golf tees. Robbie's back out in front. Sarah's near the front as well. This happened last year. She did go really close to the front and lost at the end. We've got a split race.
Way to go.
Left side, apparently, from Matt. Robbie flies past a rock, and all the rest of the guys, including myself, there's me, all get caught in the wreckage. It's neck and neck. Oh, Robbie's taking a lead. Oh, it's Robbie and Jim. The brothers next to each other, but Jim's slowing down. We've reached the Twizzlers.
That's a risky middle. There's no sides.
No.
Chris, no!
Stay away! Go down the middle! Oh, what is this? We've reached Stonehenge. There's a lot going on. Chris has done it. Come on, Chris. You can do this.
People are going to ask questions. Chris. I thought that was the final stretch. There's so much more.
No, there's Jim.
Yeah, there's like
Jim's got around me. Oh God, this is a strong division. If this the top
Everyone's
8 as it
so
stands,
close as well. There's
No one wants to win.
it's so difficult. George is back in
Go on,
front.
George.
Go on, George.
Going through the slow snow.
The slow no. George,
Oh my God.
you're nearly there. Go on, George.
Oh my God. Oh my
He's
God.
done it.
Well
He's
then.
home.
Wow.
Nick behind him in second. Now it's all about who finishes in the top 8. Nick's in, Sarah's in, Jordan's in, Neil's in, Andrew, Robbie. Oh, who finished? Will and TJ looked right on top of each other. We're going to need to see the final numbers. We need the table. There's the table. So George, as you saw, a full 3 seconds in front of everybody else. Then Nick, 2 seconds later to Sarah, who was on top of Jordan, 0.5 seconds behind. Neil coming on in 5th, 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Andrew, 3 minutes, 4 seconds. And then look at the difference here. 0.2 of a second between Andrew and Robbie, and then 0.2 of a second again between Robbie and Will. The tightest gap just knocks TJ into the next division. Will and TJ will be separated this year after finishing 0.08 between each other. You couldn't make up. You couldn't
I'm
make
glad
up.
that everyone finished. That's impressive. I think that's the most impressive thing.
Yeah, that's actually very impressive. Do you know what? Ben, John, Stacey, Nels finished bottom 4, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because there's your 2 divisions as they stand right now. So in Division A, we'll call it for now, George, Nick, Sarah, Jordan, Neil, Andrew, Robbie, and Will. In the other division, TJ, Jim, Ryan, Chris, Nels, Stacey, John, and Benjamin. In the first division, you've got former winners in Nick, Andrew, and Will. And on the other side, TJ, Jim, myself, former winners as well. If I actually was fixing it, it would have been quite nice to have 3 and 3. So I'm happy that played out that way. What interesting battles can we look forward to? Well, Jim and Nels, that one is going to rear its ugly head. You've got me and Nels as well, which is a nice one. I don't think we've ever been in a division before. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Right, we'll take the screen share off. Guys.
But this could all shake up. George has the power.
He has
to
the power.
Completely scupper all these plans. Well,
he gets the power
person
to move one person. Now, it could be himself. He might think, I don't like the look of those other 7 people in my division. We're going to move me somewhere else. Or he could be like, fuck Sarah, move her somewhere else. Do you know what? The world is his oyster. But for now, that is where we stand. All 16 people have now been booked. And they joined the other 16 people that were booked slightly earlier. Scott, what do you think?
For one, I'm looking forward to the age-old battle. Death taxes, Nels versus Jim.
It's going to be good. Right, I will end it here and I'll put up a picture with this video of the divisions as they stand. I'll go on to George. I've not heard from George in ages. It's 21:48. There's a game in 2 hours and he hasn't even put his games in. So I'll need to get on him. Anyway, thank you, Elder Wizard Matt. Thank you, Elder Wizard Scott. It was another exciting race. I came this close to winning it. Why do you always pick courses with rocks?
and snow. You
Anyway.
2 worst enemies.
Everyone wave. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.